K Nation. Sponsored by 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tonight on K Nation, it's a big week of Big 12 basketball. We sit down with the voice of the Wildcats himself, Wyatt Thompson, to talk K-State men's hoops.
Plus, you've got him, Jayhawk Nation. We're going to talk one-on-one with J.J. Dunnigan, a big-time recruit from Manhattan, Kansas, who recently pledged his commitment to Lance Leipold.
And what exactly happened in that double overtime thriller in Lawrence? We'll do our best to make sense of a wild night in Allen Fieldhouse between KU and Houston. And that, folks, is where we'll start things off. Welcome into K Nation. I'm Caroline Soro here with David George. David, you're filling in for Landon tonight. Thanks so much for being here.
Always a pleasure, just to go from one side of the studio to the other.
Hey, it's awesome. Well, we're happy to have you. And we will try our best to unpack this double overtime thriller in Allen Fieldhouse between number 12 KU, number 7 Houston. David? Go for it.
Yeah, the game was tight, the entire way, back and forth, clearly because it went for an extra 10 minutes, though, when all was said and done. KU had a 4-point lead with 30 seconds left in regulation, but turned the ball over twice, and that allowed Houston to send it to OT, tied at 66.
Ooh.
And then in overtime, KU had a 6-point lead with 18 seconds left, but missed free throws and a turnover. Well, that led to Houston threes. And then it all gets locked up at 79.
Oh, boy.
Then in double overtime, the Cougars just outlast the Jayhawks. They jumped to a 5-point lead with 2 minutes to go, and that was all she wrote. Jayhawk fans, players, and everybody else just simply stunned.
That's something I've been thinking about for the last 15 minutes now. Not sure what went wrong. I got to look at the film again, but I don't know. We gotta find a way to close out games better.
You got to go line and make 2 or at least make 1. And we were 6 of 14 in overtime from the line, so that obviously played a role. But we still had our chances to put it away if we just executed better, or if I'd have done a better job.
On the bright side, 19 points for the big freshman Flory and 17 from Ryland Griffin. And I'm sure it's one that Coach Self would really like to have back.
Yeah, that's a tough one to stomach for sure. And then, for the first time in nearly a month on the other side of the state, K-State men's basketball gets back in the win column. The Wildcats had what some are calling one of the best halves in the Jerome Tang era on the way to upsetting number 23 West Virginia. K-State scored to a 42-18 lead before halftime, all thanks to a 19-2 start. They knocked down 53% of shots and 55% of threes while forcing 7 Mountaineer turnovers and a 1-for-10 clip from the three-point line. West Virginia made it interesting in the second half, but the Wildcats never let the lead get within 10. They get the upset and snapped a 6-game losing streak.
Definitely boost our confidence. We just got to keep stacking days of practice, keep the mindset right. Move on to the next game. We just got to worry about winning the next game and just keep on stacking days for real.
I'm excited to see what happens on Monday. How we take care of business tonight and tomorrow so that we can come in on Monday and get after it. And because I'm going to be on one on Monday because I'm not going to let them be satisfied.
And it's worth mentioning how well K-State shared the ball. 7 of 9 guys scored and 5 of them landed in double digits. We'll talk more about that with Wyatt Thompson later on in the show.
All right, now checking the Big 12 standings on the men's side after this weekend's slate of games. Houston, after that crazy double overtime win at Allen Fieldhouse, is 8-0, and they lead the pack here. Iowa State and Arizona both at 7-1.
And Texas Tech, the winners of 4 in a row, check in at 6-2. Kansas is tied with Baylor at 5-3. And by the way, K-State's back towards the bottom, maybe creeping in. They're at 2-6. And Saturday's win again might help propel them a little bit forward. Now, David, let's pivot over to the women's side of things, where the Big 12 is just as much of a gauntlet, of course, and it's anybody's night every night.
And that's a fact. And K-State women's basketball, well, they felt that this week. First game without Aoka Lee.
Right.
In fact, she injured that foot last week.
She did.
The Wildcats came up short, losing this one 63-53 to the Buffs in Boulder. And mind you, it's just the second loss of the season for K-State, and it did snap that impressive 14-game winning streak. Coach Jeff Mitty said he didn't feel like the offense had much flow, and the defense gave Colorado way too many chances on the other end. Now, you can't overlook the absence of Lee, but Coach says that loss came down to several other factors as well.
We've played without Lee before, so last year we played without her, I think 8 games. So this is not new to us, and certainly I think the disappointing thing was that one of the things we wanted to do, one of the things I think Colorado does very well, is their cutting action is very effective, and I did not think we did a good job against that cutting action. So they won those kind of plays, and ultimately I think that's why they won the game.
Coach also says those Cats are likely to face a lot of games like this one down the stretch. They happen to be back at home against Iowa State, and that game's a big one on Wednesday.
Sure is. Sure is. KU women's basketball split this week of road trips with a loss at Utah on Wednesday and a win at Houston yesterday where the offense simply was moving. Samaya Nichols led the way with 16 points, and she notched her 900th career point, which is quite the milestone on its own, but especially considering that she's a sophomore. 4 Jayhawks landed in double figures, though, including Elle Evans, who had 3 threes, and that was something that Coach Brandon Schneider was looking for after the loss to Utah.
We're very young. Samaya's got to have more help, and tonight, I thought they did a terrific job on Elle. We're really physical with her and didn't give her much time and space. We couldn't get a lot out of anybody other than Samaya.
The Jayhawks come back to back-to-back home games against Texas Tech Wednesday, and then they host the Sunflower Showdown a week from today. Now for those Big 12 women's standings after the weekend, TCU is back in sole possession of number 1 at 8-1. K-State still sits at number 2 after the loss to Colorado.
All right, the Cowgirls check in at number 3 with a record of 7-2. Baylor one step below them in 4th, and then there's that 3-way tie for 5th between West Virginia, Utah, and Iowa State. The Jayhawks are down at number 11 after defeating Houston 57-43.
Whew, this conference, David.
I know.
Crazy.
It is. It's always a battle. All right, don't go anywhere because we're just getting started. Coming up on K-Nation, we go to the track. How do the Wildcats fare in their first away meet of the season? We're going to bring you those results right after a timeout.
But first, if you don't know the name Dom Vegley, get familiar. We'll tell you which preseason award he became the first Jayhawk in program history to pick up after the break.
Get ready for adventure with a new RV. New Keystone Hideouts starting at just $14,995, or choose from over 25 used RVs starting at just under $5,000. It's RV show pricing without the RV show. Visit Noller RV for the best deals.
Come on home to West Loop and Manhattan's West Side.
Family and Implant Dentistry. We cater to cowards.
Stop by McDonald's in West Loop for a quick treat or an entire meal.
Salon One and Spa, where you're not just a number, you're family.
Visit some old friends, discover some new. Come home to West Loop and Manhattan's West Side.
Hi, this is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you will be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. For 24/7 non-judgmental support, just call, text, or chat 988.
They were very easy to work with. I knew they would be the people we would want to use. In fact, we did not even get other bids. We were so pleased with the product and the customer service that Denali provided that we just stayed with them throughout.
If you've been injured in Kansas, or really anywhere, you need to talk to an attorney who has experience representing people who've been seriously injured. I've been doing this for 30 years. And it's all I've done since 1997. I'm confident we are going to be able to get your case resolved, because this is all we do is represent injured people just like you.
If you've been in an accident and need my help, call me. I'm here for you.
Welcome back to K-Nation with Caroline. I'm David, and we're already talking about baseball.
Yeah.
In fact, the forecast this week has highs near 50, so it's
feeling
more
like baseball.
like it might if we can lose the snow. And the season is less than 3 weeks from now.
It's hard to even believe, right? Well, the Big 12 dropped their preseason conference honors earlier in the week, and KU sophomore pitcher Dom Vegley was a headliner. He was named preseason pitcher of the year after an 80-strikeout freshman campaign. He's the first Jayhawk to receive such an honor, preseason player of the year honor, I should say. He was also unanimously selected to the preseason All-Big 12 team.
All right, as for the rest of the preseason poll, Oklahoma State picked to win the conference after winning it last season, while K-Nation teams were picked to finish right in the middle of the pack.
Okay.
KU in 8th, K-State in 9th. The Jayhawks nearly missed the NCAA tournament last season, and Batcats are coming off a trip to the Super Regionals. All the fun gets started, believe it or not, on February 14th.
All right, well, it's coming, whether you like it or not. And so is track and field, which is also already underway. And before things get too busy, the Jayhawks make sure to lock in Stanley Red Wine.
You bet. Coach just inked a 4-year contract extension and is currently in his 25th season with the Jayhawks. If you didn't know, that makes him the longest tenured coach in program history and the longest tenured active coach at KU.
Wow.
He's coming off coaching a Team USA men's track and field team in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. He's also a 5-time Big 12 Coach of the Year and has coached too many All-Americans for us to even count.
That's a lot. And K-State track and field was in action this weekend at its first away meet, the Texas Tech Red Raider Invitational. There were personal bests all across the board, including Daisy Money's 16.46 meter throw in the shot put, which earned her 3rd place, and Gary Moore Jr.'s 21.3 meter PR in the weight throw. That was good for 2nd place. Meanwhile, Stella Miner and Vienna Lahner placed 2nd and 3rd in the women's mile, respectively. The Cats are back to host the DeLoss Dodds Invite next weekend.
All right, coming up after a quick break on K-Nation, we're going to sit down with a local high school gridiron star who just made his commitment to a hometown team. Our conversation with J.J. Dunnigan next.
Hometown barbecue at the Blind Tiger Brewery. Pulled pork, brisket, and burnt ends. Smoked tender and juicy. Choose from our 2 unique sauces and our many savory sides.
Blind Tiger Brewery and Restaurant, 37th and Kansas.
Ladyfingers Automotive. Family-owned auto repair with hands that understand your vehicle. Quality repairs done at an affordable cost. When you're in need of service, repair, or towing, remember Ladyfingers Automotive.
Greatness is a choice. It requires passion and grit.
We don't hold the trophy for the greatest senior living community on the planet for nothing.
Is that a thing? You bet it is. When it's time for what's next, join the McCray team and choose greatness.
At Noller Ford, the Ford Power Promise is electrifying your drive. When you go electric, get a Ford Charge Station Pro with standard installation at no cost. Plus, we've got your back with 24/7 charging support. Experience volume pricing and personalized service today at Noller Ford.
From clearing land to building sheds or retaining walls to digging ponds, All Seasons Excavating and Landscape is here to turn your vision into reality. Our experienced equipment operators can create landscapes that increase your property's value. Call All Seasons Excavating and Landscape today.
Established in 2005, Sardo Countertops opened to transform houses into homes and to provide exquisite service throughout the Midwest. The result is a true masterpiece for your home.
We haven't done anything yet.
Where to begin?
Next live, Zachary Quinto and the new Bachelor, Grant Ellis.
Monday at 11 on 27 KSNT.
All right, we've had basketball, we've had track, and we're going to talk a little football here.
We've got it all.
Yeah, KU football landed a big recruiting win right out of K-State's backyard with Manhattan High safety and wide receiver J.J. Dunnigan, even with his dad, James Dunnigan, being a former K-State DB back in 2001 into 2002.
Well, they'll have the family rivalry going on, and K-Nation's Landon Reinhart caught up with J.J. one-on-one this week, and we'll pick up mid-interview with the question, why KU?
KU's close to home. You know, all my family can come to the games. They want me to play both ways there, so that's something very special, and I have a great relationship with all the coaches there.
The only place to be closer to home, though, is K-State.
Mm-hmm.
What made KU right over the hometown?
I feel like that KU just put me more as a priority, and it felt like home every time I went there, so that's why I picked KU.
Now, being at Manhattan High, was it a rough day, the day after you committed, when everyone's like, man, we wanted you to stay put?
No, it really wasn't. I feel like everybody respected my decision, and, you know, they were just happy that I was doing what I wanted to do, you know.
Gotcha. So playing both ways, why was that a big deal for you?
Because, you know, I love football. I want to be on the field as much as possible and impact the game. You know, I love football. I love playing wide receiver as well.
They got a new DC, DK McDonald. What's your relationship like with him? What did you learn from him during this process?
My relationship with him is good. You know, he started out as the corners coach, so he was the one to initially start recruiting me when I went to the camps and gave me the offer. And then, so our relationship has been really good. And then he got promoted to defensive coordinator.
Is that exciting, knowing the guy that was in charge of the DBs, where you'll be playing, I guess, half the time, keeps going up?
Oh, definitely. And I have a great relationship with Coach Shelby, too, the now corners coach.
Yeah, what's your relationship like with him?
It's good. You know, we text every day, almost every day, talk. You know, I went down there the other day for a visit, you know, with a lot of other in-state guys, too, and it was great.
I see you recruiting already online, the Twitter. You want to shout out the Twitter?
Oh, my Twitter is JJ_Dunnigan Jr. Go make sure to follow that, KU fans.
And so you've already been out recruiting once you've committed. Why is it important for you to get other big players there?
Because I want everybody from Kansas to go play there. You know, the best players in Kansas are going to play at Kansas, and I think that's very important.
Who are some guys that you met up with on your trip that, you know, that you're excited to be with?
Hunter Higgins, Nate Sims, Tyron Parker, you know, trying to recruit some other guys too from in-state.
And just a junior, how nice is it to be done with dealing with all that kind of stuff?
It's good because, you know, my ultimate goal is to play football, so that's what it's about. Not always the business part, but football is my main priority, so it feels great.
Can I get a good Joe Sharp story?
A good Joe Sharp story. I think just the tradition of 50-40s is always fun to see the younger kids like, 50-40s, what? We got to run that much? So that's
What is 50-40?
You got to run 50-40s.
50-40s?
Yeah, it's not 100%, but, you know, it's a tough task to complete, and it's just fun seeing the younger guys try to do it.
I want to talk about KU for a little bit. The new stadium that's going in, all the new stuff going in, how important was that during the recruiting process?
I mean, that's very important just to see the amount of focus they're putting on the football program and to see what's to come. You know, it's a bright future for KU.
And what's Lance Leipold like?
Oh, very great guy, very black and white. You know, he's gonna tell you what you need to hear, what he thinks about you, and I love that about him.
Is there anything that you feel like you needed to hear that he told you?
Not really anything specifically, but just how he values me. He said he likes me for a person, and not just because I'm a Kansas kid, but because I'm a great football player. He would recruit me if I lived anywhere.
Yeah. And then being a receiver, seeing how senior trio played this year, Quentin Skinner, Lawrence Arnold, Luke Grimm, did seeing how they were able to play influence you at all?
Definitely. I see myself out there kind of like the spot Quentin Skinner plays, a taller wide receiver, can catch, deep ball type of guy. So, yeah, definitely.
And then going into your senior year next year, what's the goal for Manhattan High?
To win the state championship.
Awesome.
That's always the goal.
JJ, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, the Lance Leipold effect continues in Lawrence. Sounds like they got a pretty good in-state recruit there.
I'd say so. He's got good size. Landon's 6'4". JJ looks at least 6'3".
They were kind of about the same.
And probably still growing, too.
They didn't even need that box I usually stand on. Yeah, all right. Coming up after break on K-Nation, we go one-on-one with the man who always seems to have the bird's eye view or the front row seat, and we'll ask him about his favorite part of calling big-time games. We got the voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. That's next.
Hi, Clay Sherwood with Swims and Sweeps. I'm here with Frank and Dean, the CEOs of Cute, and they want me to tell you about Aspen Spas. We have personal spas, swim spas, and party spas available. Have Frank and Dean show you your new Aspen Spa.
Hi, I'm Mark Macbeth, owner of RoofMax of Topeka. So many homeowners believe they need to replace the roof when all they need to do is recondition it with RoofMax. Call today for a free roof inspection. Let RoofMax show you the best way to save thousands and protect your largest investment.
Fidelity State Bank suite of online tools for banking really helped streamline our banking process. Less trips to the bank, the amount of time that we spent inputting data went down, gives us the opportunity to approve every transaction that comes in and out of the company, which is very helpful at preventing fraud. It's overall been a very good experience for us.
Fidelity Bank, we do business right here at home.
Hi,
I'm Jason, and this is Donald with CBD American Shaman. We're proud to say we're the first CBD stores in the state of Kansas. Now, everybody knows that it is a challenge to advertise CBD in Kansas. They won't let us show you the products that we sell. So to help drive the point home on just how good our products are, Donald is going to go 2 rounds with Kansas and Missouri's heavyweight champion, John Ironman Cantrell.
Wait, what?
Go to one of our locations in Manhattan, 21st and Randolph, and North Topeka.
JML Engraving Manhattan provides quality service you can count on. JML can add that personal touch to your gifts, trophies, and special occasions. JML Engraving, celebrating victories in life.
Big truck accidents have resulted in big money for our clients.
In a wreck, need a check? Call us today.
Patterson Legal is the way to go. Call 431-0000.
K-Nation keeps rolling along. K-State men's basketball, they won in thrilling fashion Saturday night. And what better way to break it down than with somebody who sits courtside at their games?
Oh, absolutely. I sat down one-on-one with none other than the Wyatt Thompson to ask about the roster, the season outlook, and a whole lot more. Listen in. How pivotal do you feel like the West Virginia game was? It's like, okay, there's been a couple games on the road. Yeah. You come back home, you kind of have a chance to right the ship, so to speak. I mean, how pivotal do you feel like this one was? You know, obviously they get a win, but had it gone the other way, I mean, how do you feel like this one plays into the bigger picture?
Well, the reality of it is, when you're struggling like that, you have to start somewhere. Right. And that probably, tonight will probably be square one. Now the key is enjoy this one. Yeah. You'd enjoy this one tonight, and then you start thinking about Oklahoma State on Monday, probably for the players. Coaches will be probably working on it on Sunday, of course, but you have to start somewhere. And this is not going to be an easy run, right? This is the Big 12. I mean, we've got Oklahoma State here Wednesday, as I mentioned. Then we go to Ames. Then we go to Arizona State. Then we've got KU here. I mean,
crazy run.
100%. Yeah. And so, but you feel good about it, and you hope you can build on it. One thing that I think I would say that I'm excited about is I really mean this. I think the guys are getting better. Yeah, it's probably slow steps to a degree, but their turnovers have been better, right? Their shooting was a little bit better tonight in longer stretches, those kind of things. Less turnovers, you know. Didn't shoot the free throws perfectly well. You know, Coleman struggled a little bit, but you get enough to get it done. And what happened tonight was, too, I hope people saw this watching the game here. You had 5 players in double figures, right, and you had basically 9 guys that had a hand in this. And that's when K-State is going to be at its best, because they're probably not as good as an Iowa State or a Kansas or, you know, whatever. So everybody's got to be a part of it, I think.
Bigger picture, how big is winning on the road for this group? It's something that's, you know, kind of been an Achilles heel for the last several months, weeks, dating back to last season. What does this group need to do, and how big of a deal is it to start getting those wins outside of this building?
Well, to be thinking anything postseason-wise, which a lot of people will say is even a stretch, right? Right. But let's say that they have maybe an opportunity to play a little bit better basketball here at home and steal a couple of 2 or 3 on the road. That's probably what you're going to have to do to kind of work your way back into it, and it is hard. We're going to some of the best venues in the country, right? The Iowa State place, Hilton Coliseum, rocks us like Allen Fieldhouse. You know that. And, I mean, we still have a lot of hard road trips. People don't realize, but we go to Arizona State, which is difficult. We play at BYU and Provo, which is hard. That's the league. But I do think that if this team can continue to make steps, maybe not strides, but steps getting better, then they augment their chances of at least putting themselves in the ballpark of kind of somewhat hanging around.
Who's one person, one player that's kind of developed as the course of the season has gone on that you're like, okay, this guy is the key. This guy's going to be the factor that's going to change things around, just from your personal perspective?
I think it's a great question. I appreciate you asking it. And my simple answer is going to be David Gasson. Yeah. And the reason I say that is we have 11 new faces on this team from last year, right. 3 guys back. 2 of those guys didn't really play big roles. David did. This is David's 3rd year, and he's been really, really good. I'm so proud of him. We've played 19 games now, and he's been in double figures in 17 of those.
Right.
He's also averaging almost 8 rebounds a game. That's one of the best marks in the league. But it's more than that. It's his defense. It's his toughness. It's diving on the floor. I mean, his hard cuts. I don't know. I need to look this up. I'm going to guess he's towards the top of the league in dunks because he gets so many good opportunities. Yeah. And I'm so happy for him because I think about what he was 3 years ago and see the player that he is now, and he's just made monumental steps. He's kind of quiet and unassuming in a lot of ways, and yet you just know down deep he's so confident because the last couple of summers he's been playing, representing the Netherlands, his home country. It's helped him because you're going to see grown men in that. You're going to see grown men in the Big 12, and I'm really happy for him.
When you're calling a game like this, an upset, over a ranked team, what's your favorite part about that? Is it the ending, when the buzzer sounds? Is it the build up to the ending? I mean, what's your favorite part about?
I think it varies, to be honest with you. I think those nice runs, because we've been kind of void of that this season a lot, and to bold out and play that well in the first half, I was so juiced up at halftime. I'm not going to lie. And then there's
there you go. You should have been, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be jacked up about that, it's probably time to hang it up and go do something different, right? And so it starts there. But the other fine plays. I mentioned David diving on the floor, or some of the passes we saw. Coleman, that one pass Coleman had to David for the dunk down on the north end. Those kind of things get you really jazzed up because these guys, they work really hard every day at this, and to see them rewarded, and it's been a while, is really cool. So there's a lot. That's a long answer, probably longer than you wanted, but exciting plays, exciting stretches, and exciting wins. That's what it's all about.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to hopefully more of that, right, over the course of the season. And like I said, we appreciate any time we get with you, so thank you so much.
You are the very best. I appreciate it. I love sitting down and talking to you. We'll do it again soon. Let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Well, Wyatt Thompson, one of the most genuine people you'll ever be around. He's awesome, and he's got high hopes for the Cats.
He certainly does.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're going to be back to wrap things up in just a moment.
Ready to blitz your home improvement projects? At Messler Roofing, Siding, and Windows, we are here to help you tackle your home upgrades. Call us today and get started on your winning game plan.
Just because you live in the city doesn't mean you can't enjoy the Kansas experience. Whether you're heading to the office or kicking up dust on country roads, Lewis Toyota has the right vehicle to fit all your needs. Lewis Toyota is proud to be part of this community and all the diverse experiences that make it ours.
Fight fog. Don't dispose of cooking grease down the sink, which can cause costly clogs. Instead, just let it cool, pour it into a jar or can, and then throw it away. Cool it, can it, trash it.
Ace Plumbing Experience.
If you've been injured in Kansas, or really anywhere, I'm confident that we are going to be able to get your case resolved, because this is all we do is represent injured people just like you.
If you've been in an accident and need my help, call me. I'm here for you.
Are you dreaming of a steady income in retirement? My team and I are here to help you plan for a financially secure future. Reach out today and let's build a worry-free retirement together, because those who plan for the future have one.
New year, new ride. Get up to $5,555 off a new Bronco Sport, up to $11,111 off a new Expedition, up to $12,000 off a new F-150, and save up to $6,000 on a Mach-E lease. Only at Knoller Ford.
Save big money on your kitchen upgrade at Menards. Update your home with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles. Get these Rockney kitchen cabinets on sale for $5729.99. Keep your new kitchen clean with Lippmann Cleaning Supplies. We carry a huge selection of brooms, mops, cleaning brushes, cloths, and more to make your home shine. Get a 20-pack of premium microfiber cloths for only $10.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Before we hit the road, a couple of parting thoughts about some upcoming games this week.
Yeah, we've got a couple big ones, as we've said before, and as we always do in the Big 12 Conference. KU and K-State men's hoops, though, both staying at home for the first part of the week. K-State is hosting UCF. That is on Tuesday, and ESPN Analytics are giving the Jayhawks a 90.5% chance to win. K-State hosting Oklahoma State, looking for a revenge game. ESPN Analytics giving them a 74.5% chance to win that one.
All right, we appreciate your watching tonight. That's K-Nation.
All right, have a great night.
How about that?
All right, I think that was good.
No questions. Let's go.
All right, guys, go quick. JR's got to go recruiting. I wasn't kidding about that.